The day you gave us, May 4th, 2020. Want to think tonight about the issue of authority. Want to think about the issue of submission to authority. Authority ultimately is established in God. God is the ultimate authority figure. He reigns on high. And we as his creatures are called to live with the fear of the Lord upon our hearts, which means respecting him, honouring him, valuing him, obeying him. He is to be supreme, and we respond with submission. As that is worked out in day-to-day life, we have to realise that God establishes spheres of authority that we will see in the church, in the home, and in the workplace, and in the government. So we read these scriptures. Let's read them. Firstly, with regard to the church. Obey your leaders and submit to them, for they are keeping watch over your souls. And then we think about a government. Let every person be subject to the governing authorities, for there is no authority except from God. And those that exist have been instituted by God. And then in the marriage, wives, submit to your own husbands as to the Lord. And then in the family, children, obey your parents in everything, for this pleases the Lord. That's Colossians 3:20. And then Ephesians 6, we read, slaves, obey your earthly masters with fear and trembling, with a sincere heart, as you would Christ. In all of these realms, we see that the proper way of things is for a submission to those in authority to be being demonstrated. The Christian is someone who has this tendency to place himself under those in authority, because that is an expression of our respect for God. So see what it says with regard to wives. They submit as to the Lord. See what it says for the slaves or the workers. It's the submission, the obedience is as you would Christ. Amazing statements these things are. You see, what troubles me is the fact that so often, with regard to our response to authority, we're looking for get-out clauses. We're looking for ways not to obey those in authority. That's the spirit of the world, and we so easily want to find it in the church. But those 5 scriptures I've read, none of them has a get-out clause, which would follow on by saying, yes, you only obey so long as they ask you to do what is in accordance with the word of God. They don't have that. They're just brutally straightforward as regards to the call to submission. That is the tendency. Now, to be clear, it is true. We do know the expression in Acts chapter 5, verse 29, that we must obey God rather than man, as Peter and the apostles said there. And that is right and proper, that is the case. But my big concern is the fact that we're running there too quickly so very often. We're looking for all kinds of things whereby the government or the elders or the husband or the parents, whichever realm, we're looking for ways that we won't obey them. And we then put a godly sign, a godly covering on it. And I'm troubled by that, because we should have that just essential desire to obey. And of course, there are times when we say, no, I cannot do that. I cannot lie. I cannot deny God. But please, let us have that spirit of submission into our lives. So that's the day you gave us, May 4th, 2020.